Take one, 8.5.
Action!
It's the first day filming today, and you know, it's a nice, comfortable,
warm environment,
and you know, dry.
There's a roof.
Yeah, we've had 3 weeks of rehearsal, so we're now shooting, and it's great that we are shooting.
It is great that we are now shooting.
Action!
We've got a brilliant cast. We've got Adam, who's the older brother, played by Simon Bird.
Dad, we're not suddenly going to find out we're actually her children, are we?
Thank you, Adam.
I'd met Robert before because he script edits the In-Betweeners. That's where he knew me from. So he asked me to be in this a couple of years ago now.
You know, Robert, he's obviously worked with Simon before on In-Betweeners and knows what Simon does and has had him in mind for the role for, you know, a long time.
Don't know what it is about me that casting directors just look at me and think, right, there's a chump if ever I've seen one.
Okay, for a pick-up, ladies and gents, we all thought she was getting better, but then she just suddenly went downhill. Turning over.
Tom Rosenthal plays Johnny, and it's his first TV thing, which is really good, exciting.
I got seen doing a stand-up competition in 2008. Luckily enough, they picked me. It was a very surreal experience to get picked. And then there was a massive year-long break where everyone else was obviously, Tamsin was doing a play and Simon was doing In-Betweeners. Everyone else was really busy. Like thinking that, you know, they'd either abandoned me or the entire project as a whole, having heard nothing. And then it was just like, yeah, no, we'll start rehearsals now.
He's brilliant. It's a very, you know, from my own experience, it's a very nerve-wracking and difficult thing to come and do your first job on telly. It's very scary to suddenly find yourself in front of the camera, and you just wouldn't know it from Tom. He's been a total natural, just absolutely slotted right in.
So that's what we are, collectively, the bros.
Us actors are all very lucky and we get to play these marvellously drawn characters that Robert Popper's created.
We've got the brilliant Paul Ritter, who plays Dad.
The sort of pilot script, we all read that, and there wasn't really a lot to add to it, really, because it was so sort of complete.
Tamsin Gregg is amazing, and she plays Mum.
Loved the idea and then read the script and laughed out loud, which is unusual for me to ever laugh out loud. But certainly reading scripts, I'll sometimes go, or, do you know, and you recognise something? But I did laugh out loud. I also knew that they had an idea for the actor playing Dad, and I could actually hear him saying some of the words, which added to my delight.
He just showed me what he'd written, really. He didn't have to do any big sell on it because the quality was all there in his wonderful writing.
Oh no. No way, see you later.
It is a lived-in house by humans. We've murdered them so we can use the house, and which was quite traumatic, but it's fine now. We found a family that's easy to befriend and then kill. We just had Grandma in a Bikini. It's based on when I was, well, several years ago, when my grandma was alive. She was about 85, and she used to have this balcony. She used to love the sun, and she told me, you know, sit on the balcony, and then she sat there with me and she said, oh, look, I'm a bit hot. So she went inside, and she came out in a bikini, a dotted bikini, and lay next to me on a, you know, sun chair thing on her balcony. And I thought, that's unbelievable. So I just thought, when I started writing this, that I've got to get Grandma in a bikini. And then I thought what would be funny, hopefully, would be her being pushed outside the house in a bikini. And we just did it. Frances Cooker was like really good sport. She was just straight in and did it.
All right.
Schmeigel?
Most of the scenarios are very much from Robert's own experiences. There is a quirky truth to to a situation like this, because with stories that might seem a bit fanciful, you're on rock solid ground when you can say, well, actually, that did actually happen, or in some form, or you extrapolate a scene out of something that did happen. Yeah, there was a certain amount of veracity that we pay a lot of attention to, that's for sure.
Action, family.
In the fire!
But they're my magazines!
I'm not interested anymore. In the fire!
Oh, God!
It's kind of slightly autobiographical, I guess. Tamsin's wig, my mum has that hair basically, and sort of wears those sort of clothes. The dad is really similar to my dad. I mean, scarily so. Yeah, he just really is like my dad. My dad is like that.
Oh, shit! Shit on it! Shit on it! Shit on it!
It was very interesting to meet Robert's family, to meet the sort of the real inspirations behind the characters. Before we did the pilot, we did a short little taster tape, which we actually filmed in Robert's house while his parents were still living there. You know, we'd often have a sort of take interrupted by Robert's dad just walking into shot with a cup of tea. We'd have to sort of be like, okay, cut. Martin, if you could just...
Oh, God, shit on it!
Meeting the parents was actually, we've met them a couple of times, and like hilarious, like genuinely a lot like they are on the show, you know, not trying to be like his dad is genuinely quite hard of hearing, and just naturally like a lot of humour surrounds him by just what he does.
It is a bonfire. What did you expect?
Paul is just an incredible actor. I think he's probably based a lot of his mannerisms and tics on the meetings that we've had with Robert's actual dad.
Martin's he's a rather marvellous suburban eccentric.
Come on.
He has a rich inner world, which is full of curiosity.
He also invented the first practical reflecting telescope.
He makes what I think are very perceptive comments on the world, which possibly sound a bit strange sometimes.
Oh, for Christ's sake, all I did was kiss her breasts a little. Now, come on!
Often Robert will come up and say, I think my dad would say it more like this, or Paul has definitely tried to get some of the aspects of Robert's dad's character. And same with Tamsin and Robert's mum.
I'm playing an impression of Robert Popper's mum. I don't think I'm actually his mum, because that I think would be a bit weird, given that we're sort of the same age. And so I'm hoping that actually they are different ages, that Robert Popper is not the same age as his actual mum, because that would make a brilliant documentary. But in reality, it might just make breastfeeding hard.
Action.
Martin!
And the mother was beautifully observed by Tamsin.
You better be dead or I will kill you!
And I think they did spend a lot of time studying the characters, because obviously they're real actors.
Coming!
And they've sort of, you know, done it before, and they know how to really create a beautiful, rounded person, as opposed to sort of myself and Simon are just these sort of vehicles for comedy and do faces like that.
Sorry, please excuse my brother for being a complete and utter knob face.
The ironic thing is I actually have pissed myself.
What?
No way.
Hello?
Hello? This is Johnny's phone, and so when I get bored in between takes, I take photos of people. There's actually a photo I've got to try and find where Simon's trying to pull the ugliest face he can. There he goes. He looks fat.
Simon is the Robert Popper character. There are qualities that I think that Robert sees that he's put into the writing for Simon to follow, and I think they've taught us a lot about, you know, what kind of, you know, character he is.
Can't we all just, you know, like, enough is enough?
I mean, I think they are quite different, actually, in reality.
Great.
I mean, you know, Robert's much more high energy and nervous tics.
Just fuck off!
I don't think I'm playing it like Robert. I'm not a mimic in any way. But I guess probably subconsciously it's sort of seeped in. I've been around him now for the last 2.5, 3 months.
Sat down today with a full curry. Sat down. First words, I hate curry.
It wasn't I hate guys. I don't. What's it? I don't
like curry.
I don't want curry.
Robert is not the right person to be giving me or anyone advice or criticism about what and how they eat. He eats like a little baby.
When would you ever have an banoffee pie after a curry?
Today was steak and chips. That wasn't good enough for him, though. He had to he had issues with that.
Oh, the life of an eccentric.
I saw the way that Robert interacted with his real brother, and it is just as it's written. Like a lot of the dialogue Robert said is lifted directly from one of their real Friday night dinners.
Very nice, Jackie. Lovely bit of squirrel.
I still go home like 3 out of 4 weeks, yeah. My brother, who's actually called Johnny, when we leave, often my mum will go, oh, Robert, here's some food to take home, I don't know, a bit of chicken. And often she'll make like a chocolate mousse or like some crumble, and she'll wrap it up in silver foil. And then she'll go, and that's for Johnny, and she'll show me the bit for Johnny. I will take his crumble, which he loves, and then I'll get some silver foil, and I'll go into the dustbin and take out like hair. Mum often has a haircut at home for some reason. Paper napkins, bits of onion, chicken bones, wrap them up and go to Johnny. Oh, when he's leaving, here's your chicken and that's your crumble. And then the next day I get a phone call about 2 o'clock, you bastard, from my brother, because he's just gone to the fridge, really just enjoyed his chicken from Mum, and then thinking, fantastic, I've got dessert, nice crumble, and it's just chicken bones and bits of onion and crap.
I did overhear him saying to his own brother, we've got this bit in this scene where, and, do you remember when Nan did that? Do you remember when she took that thing out of her? What, have you put that in the show? Yeah. Blimey.
Can we just get the sofa in position? Here we go, blocking through, quiet please.
I would show them drafts. And so if they didn't really find something funny, I thought, well, it's not funny enough to do it again.
Martin! Sorry, Mr. Could you please come out?
Your wife, was she? Darling?
The show, I think, is, whilst it's sort of semi-autobiographical, it's very specific. The family talk very fast, they talk over each other, they talk at each other, they have very specific terms and phrases they use.
Crimble crumble.
That are very specific, kind of, to my family in a way.
Crimble crumble.
That I think the more specific it is about a family, the more people can relate to it. So if it was just a general comedy about a family, I think people would just go, that's just not real. Like my dad, I caught my dad once drinking ketchup out of a bottle. And so this dad drinks ketchup as well. But that did happen. And my dad doesn't wear a top normally in the house.
No top tonight, Dad?
I'm baking.
He never did when I grew up. So this dad doesn't. So it's kind of, everyone's got their eccentricities within their family. And I think people hopefully will go, yeah, we don't do that, but we do this. Mark Heap plays the neighbour Jim.
Oh, hi Jim.
With his dog Wilson. We did have a neighbour who I always thought smelt of rum and raisin ice cream, who was quite eccentric. It is a specific smell. He did smell of it.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Jim.
He's a man who lives next door to the other actors, and he's got a moustache and a dog and a way about him.
I'm quite a bad corpser in general, but I do tend to be able to hold it together. But in scenes with him, I just find it so difficult, and he's got very angry at me.
Be careful.
For just ruining take after take. But it's his own fault for being so bloody funny.
There we are.
Well done, Mum.
You okay, Jackie?
Oh, at last. Thanks, Jim.
He hit me, slapped me on the neck because I ruined the take where the dog is licking Grandma's. Can I say pussy? I've said it. I ruined that take just 'cause I was laughing too much. I mean, I wasn't actually laughing at Mark in that take, to be fair to me. I was laughing at the dog.
Well, Wilson.
That was a funny one. Yeah, funny scene.
We spent 3 weeks rehearsing, which is a lot of time to rehearse, actually. I've never rehearsed this much, which has been brilliant.
We all got to know each other. We became this sort of family unit over that period.
We went through the scripts. I mean, the scripts are pretty... I like to have them locked, I mean, when we shoot, they're locked. We don't change things.
Are you all right?
I think I need to sit down, actually.
What's the matter?
But when you put them on your feet, you realise, actually, you need a bit longer to get from here to here, or this doesn't quite sound real enough, or I'm saying this word too much. And then a few other jokes people came up with, they just get kind of sharper.
My dad's just died.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
He knows this world inside out, and he'll sit down and say, well, this is going to happen, and he just bangs out an amazing scene. He's done it a few times during the shoot. Like, we think, oh, this episode's a bit short, need a scene. He'll just sit down, like, while we're filming. Like, he'll be going, yeah, that take's fine. Oh, done the scene. Oh, yeah, that take's fine. You know, it's weird. He's a freak.
God, how awful. What sort of dog was it?
Right, that's great. That's funny.
Working with Robert as a person and as a professional, it's kind of eye-opening. It's scary because he has two brains, and they both work at twice the speed of a normal human being.
He's just a silly man. He's a sort of pretend man.
I've been learning a little bit of Norwegian from Eric, our director of photography. So, 99 lykkelige swaner, which is 99 happy swans.
He's always doing a joke. Like, he just go into a room and just like, oh, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do that, and then Mum will come down the stairs, and then the lasers will come out, and there'll be dragons.
Well, actually, anyone with laser eyes can no longer use the laser function.
He slightly suffers from attention deficit disorder, I think. He's very sort of energetic and jittery.
Playing with my phone. Nervously playing with my phone.
He'll always be waiting with a joke. And they're always very funny jokes.
3 pretend men.
Inspiring, but yeah, mainly scary.
He's got his own little way about him, Robert, hasn't he? His own little world, which is it's nice. I like it.
The sort of orb
Do you want an orb 3D system?
A hovering bionicle.
A hovering bionicle.
3D orb system coming
Hovering bionicle.
Goes above his head.
I've taken to call in, I think they came up with themselves first, but it's definitely stuck. We call Steve the director and Robert the writer, the Dream Team.
It's been so much fun working with the Dream Team.
With the Dream Team, talking the whole time.
They're quite similar in many ways. They're both brilliant and they have great vision.
We organised like a little train set, and one went one way, one went the other. It was fucking brilliant.
But they also get very easily distracted.
I've always wanted to do a director's cut with the strapline,
Here we go, guys.
with 8 minutes
Coming
taken
into
out.
position.
And can be quite immature. They'll often just totally disrupt takes, so I think it's a couple of times a day really that we'll have to redo a take just because they forget that they've got their earphones on when they're listening to the dialogue, so they'll be chatting to each other during a take and they'll just be shouting, so they'll be like, we might have to redo this bit later, Robert, because there was a little bit of I can hear a plane going overhead, and obviously we'll have to redo the whole take because they're just shouting from the room next door to where we're filming.
Doesn't need to leave. Doesn't need to leave frame.
What?
Doesn't need to leave frame.
We don't need to leave frame.
Action.
10 foot that way. White tape around it.
That way.
Action. Action. Action.
Steve fell asleep during a take, woke up halfway through the take, saying quite loudly, "Are we filming?"
There was one take where Robert was just sat there doing the crossword and Steve was next to him fast asleep. This was while the take was going on. The director and the writer of the show.
And the thing is, I've been talking to him and hadn't realised he'd been asleep.
So good to see there's some quality control.
Yeah, no, it's the punishing schedule that did it.
Boring
Yeah.
script.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, we're just doing a scene outside for for episode 6. It involves a dog and fireworks.
There's a dog just there. It's back to me. Just there.
Oh, they're beautiful, but really annoying. Dog will probably freak out tonight, like last night.
Who scheduled this?
The dog.
Was it the dog's fault? This is... Good luck.
Good luck to you.
Good luck, everyone.
She's not my girlfriend.
Not yet. Hi, Jim.
Thanks, Johnny.
Anytime.
Simon Bird is incredibly annoying. Oh, he is. You know, he's just as arrogant as he comes across, and more so, if anything.
It's one way of putting it. Yes, maybe.
I'm just so annoying as a person and as a performer, and Simon is kind of so meek and funny in this. Whether it's just going to be perceived as he's the guy who's the never-ending, wanker, just constantly being an annoying bellend, like ruining Friday night dinner.
Tom's a lot more boring than me. He's sort of, you give Tom a box and he'll stay inside that, whereas me, I'm jumping out. Is it a box, or what can I turn it into? No, I'm a total genius.
Who was that? Wasn't funny.
Who do you think it was?
Simon Bird.
Do you reckon it was Bird?
Yeah, it was definitely Simon Bird.
You're accusing people of looking you in the toilet. What did you
Dramatic
come
irony,
out?
where the viewer knows who it was and the protagonist is unaware.
Didn't get recorded.
We didn't even turn out. I just look like a mentalist.
Yeah.
Where is it? It was you. I honestly have no idea what's going on.
Tom Rosenthal, the instigator of a lot of mischief.
You locked me in the door, didn't you?
He started playing some pranks on me on set. There's a running joke in the show where Johnny puts salt in Adam's water, so he started doing that in some of my drinks.
You bastard!
It was hilarious, actually. We all had a good laugh about that. Just drink after drink after drink, ruined. I was getting quite thirsty by the end of the day. Just impossible for me to hydrate myself. So, thanks, Tom. Thanks for that. It was a good day.
Do we believe this?
This is the only shot I haven't seen the whole shoot. The last shot.
And camera.
And action.
Drop.
Cut there, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents, let's hear it. Thank you very much for bringing. Well done, one and all. That's the final time.
I feel like I've learnt a lot. It's been a very educational experience as well as an enjoyable one.
Finally, my acting abilities are coming to the fore because I am playing a woman 400 years older than my actual age.
It was a very surreal experience.
It's just what Robert's observed in life.
There's been a lot of disruption amongst the cast, but I can't really talk about it.
What's this one? It's just got rings round.
So yeah, no, it's been a blast.
Raining.
Going to be fine. You won't notice the rain at all.
No, just paint it out, you get it.
I wouldn't say proud. Just look back on with very fond memories. Mum and Dad are proud. They're proud.
They saw the pilot and my dad just went, "That's me," and we went, "That's Dad." Weirdly, they've been fine.
Here we go. Silence, please. Film wild track.
Oh my God!
Oh.